Bullying, growing achievements in the film industry, and strong influence on social media. And that's what makes Ananya Panday NDTV Youth Icon of the Year 2024. She represents a blend of modern values, relatability, and a commitment to meaningful causes, which are essential qualities for inspiring today's youth.
Congratulations, very many
Thank
congratulations.
You. Thank you.
And Ananya, there are just a few questions for
yes.
you. You've, diverse characters, and you've made a shift from big screen to OTT. Big superstars have done their shift. What is your opinion on that, and what's your next move?
Firstly, I just want to thank NDTV for this award. It's truly very, very humbling, and to get it from Asha Parekh ji, I'm such a big fan of your work, so this is a pinch me moment for sure. I don't believe any screen is too big or small. It's a screen at the end of the day, and the world is developing so fast. There's so many changes that are being made, so I think we're all just keeping up with the times.
Ananya, the fact is that 2024, this year has been phenomenal for you. One success after another. Kahan Kho Gaye Hum, Call Me Bae, CTRL. How does it feel to have multiple successes in one single year?
It's really a dream come true. I really think this year for me, more than ever, I felt very connected to my fans with Kho Gaye Hum Kahan and Call Me Bae and Control. I've done movies in the past, but this is the first time that I felt true love from the audience. And, all these films and shows have been conversation starters. People have not just come up to me and said that they like my work, but how my work has kind of made them feel seen or represented on screen. And for an actor, I think that's a huge victory for me.
So Asha ji is here on stage, and I sometimes back मैंने आपसे ये पूछा था कि आज के दौर में स्टारडम कैसे हैंडल करना है, तो अनन्या आपके साथ हैं जो स्टारडम को एक अलग तरीके से हैंडल कर रही हैं. कुछ एडवाइस अनन्या के लिए, या अनन्या आपको आशा जी से कुछ पूछना है?
जी आप प्लीज बताइए, आप मुझे एडवाइस दीजिए प्लीज.
क्या बताऊं?
कुछ भी, आप कुछ भी बताइए, मैं ले लूंगी.
Sincerity, hard work takes you in a long way. That's what I feel, and that's what you should be doing.
Lovely, thank you, ma'am.
Ananya, ये जो मैम हैं वो icons of that golden era of Indian cinema है. And there is another era of Indian cinema which you represent. There are, and so when you listen to Asha ji or you see her movies, Kati Patang, several of them, and several beautiful songs as well. What do you think that मैं भी ये act करती, मैं भी शायद ये film में करूँ, ऐसा कोई script मुझे भी मिले?
I mean, that's always the dream, और ये हमेशा हमारी wish रही है, but I don't think anyone or anything can touch that age of cinema. Just look at ma'am even today. I mean, so beautiful, so lovely, just looking like a wow. I want to say that right now, but she's just. I mean, I don't think we can ever touch that era. It was called golden for a reason.
So any of your favorite Asha Parekh movie or songs that you would
all of them,
remember?
as you said, Kati Patang, I mean, there are just so many of them. I'm here and I'm having a big fangirl moment, but
Absolutely.
just all of it, all of
So
it. My nani is a huge fan, actually.
Your nani is a huge fan.
My nani, my mom, just, it's passed, the love has passed down through the generation.
And Ananya, you've just got this award for Youth Icon of the Year.
Yes.
And the youth today, and to everyone who's listening to you, you have a piece of advice for them. It's a real generation, it's an Insta generation, and you're such a huge fan yourself on Insta especially. So anything you would like to tell them?
I would just say to always choose kindness. Yes, that's it.
And you are an advocate of kindness. I mean, you run a campaign, a movement of sorts, which actually promotes that. What made you choose an idea of that nature, which is very new to your generation, because, it's very fastest finger first kind of thought. 20 seconds reel and the attention goes.
So I started So Positive, which is actually a digital social responsibility, which it began with speaking about cyberbullying. I felt like, as you said, it's a very current issue. I felt like no one was really talking about it. And sometimes I may not be able to fix every problem, but actually starting a conversation about something can go a long way. So it started off with only being about cyberbullying and putting together resources to help people tackle that and overcome that. But I think now it's become more of a general movement towards making the society kinder. Yes.
अनन्या, एक सवाल मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ. आप अगर फिल्मों की बात करें तो कोई एक ऐसा रोल पहले की फिल्मों में जो आपने देखी होगी जो आप चाहेंगी कि आप प्ले करती, काश अगर वो रीमेक हो तो?
I don't think anyone can do justice to what Kareena did in Jab We Met, but I think,
Jab We Met.
yeah, Geet is my all-time favorite character. Yeah.
और आप भी आपकी फेवरेट हैं करीना के जैसी
जी, वो मेरी सबकी और खुद की ही फेवरेट है.
बिल्कुल
Asha ji और Ananya, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Asha ji.
दोस्तों जोरदार तालियां बजाई जाएं एक बार फिर से. अब वो पूछिए क्यों, मेरे सामने राजकुमार बैठे हुए हैं, हिंदुस्तान के राजकुमार, हम सबके राजकुमार, राजकुमार राव. वेलकम. आगे बढ़ते हैं, अगली कैटेगरी की बात करेंगे, लेकिन उसके पहले हम कुछ आपको दिखाना चाहते हैं. ये बहुत ही अलग लेवल की कैटेगरी है, बहुत ही अलग लेवल का पुरस्कार है, बहुत खास है. इस पुरस्कार को देने के लिए जिस शख्स को हम मंच पे बुलाना चाहते हैं, उसके पहले उसके बारे में एक छोटा सा एवी आपको दिखाना चाहते हैं. ये एवी देखिए और फिर आगे की बात करते हैं.
Special Entrepreneurial Award to none other than Shrikant Bola.
श्रीकांत बोला, जो खुद एनडीटीवी इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर रह चुके हैं, हमारे बीच मौजूद हैं. हम श्रीकांत जी को मंच पे बुलाना चाहेंगे. श्रीकांत जी, प्लीज कम.
Shrikant, welcome to NDTV. Your optimism, where does your unwavering positivity come, Shrikant? Please welcome here. We welcome you to NDTV Indian of the Year.
और हम साथ में बुलाना चाहेंगे हमारे एडिटर इन चीफ संजय पुगलिया जी को एक बार फिर से मंच पे. संजय जी, प्लीज कम. श्रीकांत, आपकी इजाजत से अगली कैटेगरी अनाउंस करते हैं हम लोग, और वो है एक्टर ऑफ द ईयर की. इस बार का एक्टर ऑफ द ईयर का अवार्ड की घोषणा खुद श्रीकांत करेंगे आज, और श्रीकांत के पास वो एनवेलप लाया जाए.
Oh, looks like NDTV is now challenging me to see whether I can read Braille, which I left 20 years ago. But don't worry, I definitely can read this. Actor of the Year. By the way, my dear friends, you know, probably I am one of the first ones in the history of NDTV to have this rare, proud honor of announcing and honoring as in the place of a real hero to a reel of my own movie Shrikant. Without a further ado, with great admiration, love and due respect, Best Actor of the Year goes to Shri Rajkummar Rao. Please come on to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rajkummar Rao's versatility, dedication to meaningful cinema, and consistent delivery of powerful performances continued in 2024. His recent roles in Shrikant, Mr. and Mrs. Mahi, Stree 2 and Wiki Vidya Ka Wo Wala video showcases his deep commitment to his craft, often transforming himself physically and emotionally to suit the character's demands, making Rajkummar Rao the NDTV Actor of 2024.
जोरदार तालियां राजकुमार के लिए. भाई, हम सबके दिलों के राजकुमार भी तो हैं ये. राजकुमार, आपसे पूछना चाहेंगे हम, 2024 मेरे ख्याल से आपके जीवन का सबसे सुनहरा साल आप इसको मानेंगे?
Well, definitely. First of all, thank you so much, NDTV. Thank you, sir. Thank you, jury. Thank you, Shrikant, the real Shrikant, for giving us your life story and for giving me this opportunity to play you on screen, because it was one of the most challenging parts. But I had so much fun, because when there are challenges, then only it's fun. Otherwise, it gets very monotonous, very boring.
आपने तो अपॉर्चुनिटी छीन लिया, नहीं तो मैं खुद प्ले करता था यार.
नहीं, प्लीज कुछ काम हमें भी करने दो. आप सब कुछ करोगे तो फिर हम क्या करेंगे?
नहीं, सीक्वल 2 में हम दोनों लड़ेंगे.
Done.
किसको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगा, किसका लुक बेटर होगा, देखेंगे ना.
Done. But yeah, 2024 बहुत ही अच्छा रहा. I think God has been really kind. This is my second Indian of the Year. I received it in 2017 because that was also a fabulous year. But I want every year to be a fabulous year for our cinema, for our stories. I wish कि हम लोग अच्छी कहानियाँ कहें, अच्छा content बनाएं, so that we can films like Shrikant, where we can inspire people, because his life is so inspiring, and not many people knew about him, unfortunately. But through cinema, we can tell such beautiful stories which can touch your heart, which can change someone's life. So I just wish कि हर साल 2024 जैसा ही हो और मैं यहाँ पर और आता रहूँ और ऐसे कमाल श्रीकांत जैसे लोगों से अवार्ड लेता रहूँ. So again, thank you so much NDTV. This means a lot to me. So I was shooting this morning when I told my crew that I have to go to Delhi to receive this award, and they're like, "Arey sir, but we are shooting." But I told them it's Indian of the Year. They're like, "Sir, you go, we'll manage." Otherwise, they don't really, give breaks for awards because बहुत सारे होते हैं, but only कुछ हैं जो important होते हैं. So,
थैंक यू.
So,
thank you once again. Have a good evening, guys.
श्रीकांत, आपको कैसा लगा? श्रीकांत,
क्या राजकुमार ने इस आपकी लाइफ को डिपिक्ट करने में उन्होंने किरदार सही किया है?
इसका सीरियस जवाब देना है, अभी अवार्ड्स और बचे हैं.
I think, this role, particularly acting someone's role who had been by birth born blind, I think it's not an easy character to play, right? I think nobody could have ever done more justice than what the brother Rajkummar Rao has done it. Because even I was present during shooting sometimes, and the way he kind of managed the set, then always he was in that character all the time. He never used to say hi to people. People wouldn't understand why is he arrogant. But then after some time they used to realize इनका आंख open नहीं हो रही थी क्योंकि he was wearing lenses. I think he was all the time in that character mode until the pack-up is called off. I think which actor does that? And which actor takes that much respect and the hard work in every role that they do? And as a person, and what I read, he is a man of resilience and self-manifestation. He's the one who had manifested that he wanted to be a great actor. From Gurgaon, going on a cycle and being where he is, unbelievable. I think we are very happy. I owe deepest debt of gratitude to all the cast and crew, particularly Tusharji, who had literally chosen, put a gun point and say, Rajkumar, you have to do this role. I think that's the beautiful choice. And even when I looked at this movie, मैं तो रो पड़ा हूँ क्योंकि I forgot it's my story because it was done so well, so aptly. And everybody asks me, how true is the movie? I tell them it's 98% true, other than little bit Bollywood masala there.
Rajkumar,
Those songs were not there when you're like, nobody was playing violence behind you, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rajkumar.
Thank you, sir.
So much, Shrikant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit's research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant Food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first to buy
all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Long Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know Your Company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant Food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first to buy all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the Wall Street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Our next category is Global Entertainer of the Year.
And to give away this award, we request Mrs. Usha Kakre, Founder President, Gravitas Foundation, and producer UKP to come up on stage.
So, Global Entertainer of the Year, Indian of the Year का अवार्ड है, लेकिन कोई इंसान अपने कद में इतना बड़ा हो सकता है कि उसके लिए हमको उसका नॉमेनक्लेचर बदलना पड़े. ग्लोबल एंटरटेनर ऑफ द ईयर कपिल शर्मा.
स्वागत करना चाहूंगी अब कपिल शर्मा का स्टेज पे. ग्लोबल एंटरटेनर ऑफ द ईयर कपिल शर्मा, कॉमेडियन, एक्टर, एंटरटेनर और मेजबान हैं द ग्रेट इंडियन कपिल शो के, जो अब है नेटफ्लिक्स इंडिया पे.
ये मनीष मल्होत्रा की है.
नहीं नहीं, ये किसी लेडी की है. मनीष मल्होत्रा की क्यों होगी?
इसका ये
काम जो है ना, ये हमेशा खुशियां बखेरता है।
कपिल, आप हमेशा खुशियां बांटते हैं और आप आज हमारे मंच पर खुशियां बांटने के लिए आए हैं। तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि आप के मंच पर देश विदेश के लोग आते हैं और वो अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करते हैं। आज आप एनडीटीवी के मंच पर हैं, इस अवार्ड को रिसीव करके कैसा लगा?
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन और थैंक यू सो मच एनडीटीवी फॉर दिस ऑनर। और बहुत अच्छा लगता है मैम जब किसी के काम को सराहा जाता है और ये अवार्ड जो आज मुझे दिया गया है उसके लिए मैं तमाम भारतवासियों का धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि हमारे भारतवासी जो है दुनिया के कोने कोने में बसे हुए हैं और अपनी मेहनत के चलते अपने परिवार के लिए, अपने लिए अच्छा तो कर ही रहे हैं, अपने देश का नाम भी रोशन कर रहे हैं। और शायद इसी के चलते हमारा शो भी जो है वो आज ग्लोबल प्लेटफॉर्म पे है। सो व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड दिस शो, so they were not giving me more than 24 episodes. They said this is more than enough which we are giving you. So 3 महीने के लिए शो बनाया गया था. It's been 12 years now. So ये लोगों का प्यार है कि ये चलता जा रहा है और लोगों का प्यार जो है और बड़ा ही है। और उस सब के लिए मैं आपके प्यार के लिए, आपकी दुआओं के लिए आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। सुमित जी कहाँ चले गए? सुमित जी बड़े खुश नजर आ रहे थे आज पहली बार मुझे। कैसे सुमित जी? सुमित जी को मैंने इतना स्माइल करते हुए कभी नहीं देखा। शायद मैं भी आज फर्स्ट टाइम यू आर होस्टिंग विद सम ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल, नहीं तो अकेले बैठे होते। बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है अपने पुराने दोस्तों को मिलके देख के।
तो कपिल, आपने नेटफ्लिक्स पे जो आपकी जर्नी है वो आपने जो शुरू की तो उसमें था आई एम नॉट डन येट, इससे शुरू हुई और देखते देखते आप दुनिया भर में छाए हैं। 192 कंट्रीज हैं जहाँ पर आपको देखा जाता है। तो थोड़ा सा बताइए कि सफ़र आपके लिए कैसा रहा है?
मैम सफ़र बड़ा ही मज़ेदार रहा है क्योंकि मैंने थिएटर बैकग्राउंड से हूँ। मैं थिएटर से शुरुआत की, बहुत साल दिल्ली में भी गुजारे और फिर मुंबई पहुँचे। आई थिंक सब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ऊपर वाले का बड़ा ख़ास करम रहा है। लोग जाते हैं, स्ट्रगल करते हैं। मैं भी पहले गया था, लेकिन उसके बाद एक रियलिटी शो में जब सिलेक्शन हुआ तो मुझे एयर टिकट भी मिला, तो घर से ही हम फ्लाइट में बैठ के गए पहली बार मुंबई। और सफ़र बड़ा मज़ेदार रहा, उतार चढ़ाव भी रहे काफ़ी, पर आई थिंक शायद यही लाइफ है, हर किसी की लाइफ में ऐसा होता है और बड़ा मज़ेदार रहा। और अभी तो मुझे लग रहा है मैम अभी तो शुरुआत हुई है। मुझे याद है इसी होटल में आज से 20 साल पहले मैं किसी सिंगर के साथ परफॉर्म करने आया था एज ए कोरस सिंगर, बैकग्राउंड सिंगर। तो आज उसी होटल में आज 20 साल बाद मुझे ये अवार्ड मिल रहा है। सो रियली रियली थैंकफुल टू गॉड, बहुत ग्रेटिट्यूड है उस बात के लिए।
आपने बार बार माँ के आशीर्वाद का जिक्र किया है, उसके अलावा योर वाइफ हैज़ बीन अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्स बिहाइंड यू। यू कीप टॉकिंग अबाउट योर चिल्ड्रन ऑल्सो। जब भी एपिसोड्स हम देखते हैं उसमें आप अपने बच्चों की भी बात करते हैं, तो यू कम अक्रॉस एज अ फैमिली मैन। व्हाट इज़ द मैसेज दैट यू वांट टू कन्वे टू योर फैमिली टुडे?
सबसे पहले तो जिन्होंने शादियां नहीं की उनसे मेरी एक बड़े भाई होने के जो मुझसे उम्र में छोटे हैं, कर लेनी चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ बुरा नहीं होता। तो हाँ, मेरी लाइफ में मेरी माँ, जब मुझे कभी लोग कहते हैं कि आपने ये अचीव कर लिया, वो अचीव कर लिया, आपने इतनी स्ट्रगल की, मुझे ये लगता है मैम कि कोई भी आदमी जब अचीव करता है तो वो अचीवमेंट उसकी अकेले की नहीं होती है। मैं जब अमृतसर से जालंधर कॉलेज में थिएटर करने के लिए जाता था, मैं अपनी पॉकेट मनी के लिए काम करता था, तो मुझे अगर 6 बजे की ट्रेन पकड़नी होती थी तो मेरी माँ 4 बजे उठती थी, क्योंकि सर्दियों के दिनों में ही वो फेस्टिवल्स होते हैं। सो मेरी माँ जिन्होंने मुझे जन्म दिया इस दुनिया में लेके आई, फिर मेरी बहन, फिर मेरी वाइफ मेरी लाइफ में आई, फिर मेरी बेटी आई। सो ये चारों जो महिलाएं हैं, छोटी बड़ी, तो मुझे लगता है जब तक बच्चे नहीं हुए थे मैं भी बच्चा ही था। तो जब आप बाप बनते हो तो काफ़ी दुनियादारी समझ आती है। सो अब अपने बाप को मैं और ज़्यादा मिस करता हूँ कि हमें जब हम बच्चे होते हैं हमें यही लगता है कि अरे हमारे पापा क्या बोल रहे हैं। सो जब आप खुद बाप के जूतों में पैर डालते हो तब आपको पता चलता है कि उन्होंने किस तरीके से कैसे सेक्रीफाइसेस किए होंगे हमारे लिए। सो उम्मीद है जहाँ कहीं भी होंगे वो खुश हो रहे होंगे इस समय।
बहुत सारे लोग हैं ऑडियंस में जो आपसे सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं।
हेलो कपिल सर।
हेलो।
मेरा सवाल ये है आपसे कि आपने अब तक बहुत अवार्ड्स जीते हैं, कभी आपने सोचा था कि आपको एनडीटीवी में अवार्ड जीतने का मौका मिलेगा?
ये जो आप मेरा ही सामान मुझे बेच रही हैं बस यही है मैम, ये जो लोगों का प्यार है, जो सबके चेहरे में मुस्कुराहट आती है, आई थिंक यही सबसे बड़ा अवार्ड है। और हाँ, मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि एनडीटीवी के इस मंच पे आऊँगा और मुझे अवार्ड से जो है वो सम्मानित किया जाएगा। उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, दिल से धन्यवाद।
माय नेम इज़ अंतरिक्ष एंड मैंने सोचा था कि कभी आपके शो पे कभी आने का अवसर मिलेगा तो मैं आपसे पूछूंगा या आपसे बात करूंगा, लेकिन आई एम सो थैंकफुल टू एनडीटीवी एंड आपने मुझे अवसर दिया आपसे बात करने का। अपार्ट फ्रॉम बीइंग अ वेरी गुड एंटरटेनर, यू आर ऑल्सो गुड सिंगर, तो कुछ छोटा सा हो जाए सर।
मेरी एक प्रॉब्लम है, मैं वहीं पे गाता हूँ जहाँ पे और कोई गाने वाला ना हो, ताकि तो मुझे एकदम से पता नहीं अभी क्या।
यहाँ पर भी नहीं है कोई गाने वाला।
मैं अपनी वाइफ को एक गाना सुनाता हूँ अक्सर ही, उसको यकीन दिलाने के लिए कि मैं उसको बड़ा प्यार करता हूँ। तो वो गाना है, सोनिए जे तेरे नाल, सोनिए जे तेरे नाल दगा मैं कमावा, नी रब करे मैं मर जावा, हो नी अल्लाह करे मैं मर जावा, तेरी जे तारीफ तैनू झूठ मैं सुनावा, नी रब करे मैं मर जावा। शुक्रिया सर।
क्या बात है,
क्या बात है,
बहुत खूब। थैंक यू एंड कंग्रेचुलेशंस वंस अगेन। थैंक यू सो मच।
मेरा अवार्ड ले गया कोई है? अच्छा, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first trade to buy all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings. Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Hello and welcome to the Mutual Fund Show. I am Neeraj Shah, and over the next 25 minutes we're going to be talking about how to identify the best funds across balanced advantage funds category, the multi-cap category and the large cap category. Now you'll ask why these three in particular. Simply because the overwhelming consensus view seems to be that in the event of a market correction, the ones which will be best placed would be either large caps or maybe a mixture of debt and equity. But in order to also give an option to the non-risk averse investor, we've chosen the multi-cap category, wherein at least 25% of the capital would be in mid caps and 25% would be in small caps. So you have a distinct flavor of that aspect as well. In effect, viewers, you can very well build out a significant part of your portfolio with these three categories alone. And therefore, it's the best conversation to my mind right at the end of 2024 for a balanced portfolio in 2025. Our guests today, Amit Kukreja, founder of AmitKukreja.com, and Juzair Gabajiwala, director of Ventura Securities. Gentlemen, both of you, thanks so much for taking the time out and being with us, and season's greetings to you and yours. Juzair, good talking to you after a while. Would these three categories, Juzair, be good enough to build out a large portion of the portfolio, or would you add something else to this mix?
So thanks, Neeraj, and season greetings to you as well. And I believe that it depends upon even the risk appetite of the investor. So I think, having said that, these three categories are good because they have got some consistent fund managers. Like, ICICI Blue Chip is the largest fund in the large cap category now. I think managing nearly around 63,000 odd crores. Even multi-cap is a good because you have a mixture of large, mid, and small. In fact, currently I would actually go with a multi-cap as a strategy so that you can have the best of all the three worlds with minimum 25% allocation over there. And BAF is for a real conservative investor, and I think it's a bit of a non-brainer because where can you get this kind of a return? The type of return which HDFC has been churning out around nearly 19% year on year, and even since inception it has done reasonably well. So I think these three categories are good, and if somebody has an risk appetite for a longer duration, can also actually look at small cap, because nowadays even the size of the small cap itself has also grown pretty large.
Amit, what would your view be? Is this a largely complete or portfolio, or would you add something to the mix?
I think the whole investing journey evolves for every investor. For somebody who is a beginner, he can start with a simple dynamic asset allocation or a hybrid fund. Once he has gathered some experience, he can add large cap funds. Once he has gathered more experience in terms of market volatility, he can add multi-cap funds or flexi cap funds. Once he feels confident with his investing strategy and the journey of having created alpha in his portfolio, he can add mid cap or small cap. It's a function of what has been your experience by investing in the market, what is your risk tolerance, and how far your goal is from today. Capital protection is a very essential aspect of wealth management. If I'm not able to protect money for a goal which is just 2 years away, then what's the point of having a professional wealth management service or managing the portfolio with these problems?
Amit, may I come in? Amit, so the idea is, because we can't tailor make the show to everybody's needs, right? We assume somebody with a moderate risk appetite, a moderate understanding of mutual funds, an existing moderate portfolio, and a 5-year time horizon. So it's not for 1 year, 2 years, etc. So let's assume if these parameters are there, then would you add something else in the mix of the fund categories, or are these three good enough?
No, these three are good enough, Neeraj. I think this is a good combination, because if you look at 100 rupees, which is put in 1/3 capacity in each of these categories, you're pretty much having a balance of alpha generating mid cap, small cap in the portfolio, and you have a decent capital protecting large cap, and also a conservative debt allocation by these three category of mutual funds. So they are a good combination for somebody to achieve his goals from 5 years from today.
Okay, fair call. So viewers, now remember, you may add a little bit here and there depending on if your risk appetite is slightly different or your time horizon is different. We can't naturally tailor make this, but let me try and tackle each of these categories one by one. I'll start off with the balance advantage category, simply because that has got a mix of debt, the other two don't. And Juzair, I'll come to you. What's your view on what's the quantum of allocation that one should do to a balance advantage category within the portfolio? And are there funds that you're more comfortable, Juzair? Remember, Juzair and Amit, the names that you speak need not be an exhaustive list. It's an indicative list, and there could be more or less, again depends. So with that caveat, Juzair, let me ask you about the balance advantage fund category or the BAF category.
So, okay, so I know what we have seen, that dynamic asset allocation, which is now balance advantage fund as a category, is becoming, pretty diverse. So it's like, it's not the same as what it used to be before. So it is, everybody has a different asset allocation in terms of what they are doing. And ideally, I would actually stick with the largest, which is, doing very well. So HDFC Balance Advantage Fund actually, meets that criteria. So I feel that one should stick with HDFC Balance Advantage Fund. It's got a huge corpus, but I don't think that should be a deterrent, because even after having taken that the change in the fund manager, means in fact we had Prashant Jain managing this fund for a very longish period of time. So with Gopal, who is now taken over the fund, is also doing very well. So I would actually stick with that. With they have only around 66% allocation to the equity part, and the balance is in debt. And if after that, if somebody gives you a return and he's in the top performing category and performing across spectrums, I feel that this is one fund which is a non-brainer, where you have a track record, you have a pedigree, and you have a good fund manager. So I think one should stick with that, specifically where somebody is starting. And in terms of an allocation, it all depends upon how much comfortable the investor is and what is going to be his time horizon. So shorter duration time horizon investments can be put in over here. Longer durations, you can look at multi-asset and large cap funds.
Okay, so that's the Ventura view, of course. Amit, how would you respond to this?
The HDFC Balance Advantage Fund, if you look at the performance, it has generated one of the best risk-adjusted returns in last 10 years. They've demonstrated their ability to create returns which are almost as good as a large cap fund that it has delivered in last 10 years. Now, a similar return which is equivalent to a large cap return in a 10-year period coming from a Balance Advantage Fund is a fantastic achievement. So this fund particularly is one of the top performers, and they have maintained, as of now, their net equity allocation is about 51%. Now, as the other gentleman is saying it's 66%, he's also right, but we have to look at how much of it is in shorts and how much of it is in pure equity, etc., etc. So maintaining an equity tax slab and generating 14% annualized 10-year return with, at the moment, 49% of debt allocation reflects very strongly about how the fund is being managed. So in my opinion, it definitely qualifies as one of the dynamic asset allocation fund, as a mutual fund in one's portfolio. Now, if you split 100 rupees into investment for a 5-year period, how much of it should I put in dynamic asset allocation? How much of it should I put in large cap? And how much of it should I put in multi cap? That's a call that I would take based on the investor's risk tolerance. I could do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, or I could just do 25% of dynamic asset allocation, 50% of large cap, and 25% of multi cap, depending upon how much of a risk appetite the investor has. That's a call that somebody needs to take in terms of how I'm exposing myself to these three funds. But if I put a top performing multi cap and a top performing large cap and a top performing dynamic asset allocation in my portfolio for a 5-year period or longer, I think I am confident that I will be able to achieve my financial goals or whatever is my focus or investment target to invest in these products.
Okay, so that's as far as the Balance Advantage Fund category goes. The next one, I'm taking the large cap category, and Amit, I'll start this conversation with you. Now, how do you approach the large cap category? Because for the longest time, the fund managers were, the data suggested, right, the SPIVA data, etc., that large cap, the fund managers, management industry per se was not able to beat the benchmark either. That's changed a little bit in the current calendar, if you will. How do you approach the category? What kind of funds would you consider? Or what funds would you consider?
I'm going to slightly deviate. Here is where I'm deviating, and I'm taking liberty. Large cap funds have done very well. But if I look at large cap actively managed fund and a large cap passive fund, the large cap actively managed fund have been maintaining 80% allocation to large cap and about 10% to mid cap. They're absolutely fine in terms of complying with the regulation, which requires them to have minimum 80% allocation to a large cap stocks. That's a large cap fund. But if you are a purist and if you want to have a pure large cap fund, then you have to choose index. Now, the large cap actively managed funds have delivered alpha because they have maintained 10% allocation to mid cap. And in the fallen markets, they have actually done worse than the index funds. So if I'm maintaining a large cap allocation, and that's just me, that's my recommendation. Every opinion matters. I would maintain my large cap allocation through an index fund, and I would maintain allocation into other category of funds through an actively managed fund. Because large cap means absolutely large cap for me, not negotiable. But if I'm having actively managed, then I know that I'm adding a little bit of mid cap allocation and I might be diluting my investment philosophy in terms of what is it that I'm establishing as a core. That's my view on large cap.
Okay. Jose, what about you?
I know what Amit is saying is also in a way right, but I would also a bit deviate from over here. Actually, if we go to see in the last 5 years, the definition of large cap actually now needs to undergo a change. In December 2019, if we take, the 100 company, the market cap itself was around somewhere around 27,000 crores. And today that number is at 1 lakh crore, right? So it basically means that now a lot of companies which we would actually call as mid cap have now actually become large cap. So again, we are again restricted to only 100 stocks in large cap. So trying to generate alpha from that 100 stocks, it becomes very difficult. So a better play or actually out here would be either with an equal play index or ideally if there needs to be a change in the market cap definition because in fact even now small caps also are reasonably very have a good market capitalization. So one actually needs to look at it from that perspective when you are investing even in large cap stocks. So otherwise, a better play would also be index fund, maybe equal weight or whichever way the person wants to look at it.
Okay. Fair call. Then let me come to the next category on which, relative to the flexi cap category, Jose, newer category, but well defined criteria. And let's assume that even if your view on the markets, I don't know what it is, but let's assume that the view on the markets might be that after 3-4 years of strong performance, if we get a lull here. But if somebody wants to invest in the multi-cap space with a view that doesn't mind holding for 5 years, doesn't mind maybe a year of underperformance or what have you, would that be the correct way to approach this category, part one? And what are the funds that look interesting to you?
So I like this category a lot. I mean, specifically because between flexi cap, in fact, we had seen at one point of time many of the flexi cap funds were also actually hugging the large cap at one point of time. So at least in a multi-cap, it actually forces the fund manager to at least have a 25% allocation to mid, small, as well as large. And like I said, that the size of the entire market cap has undergone a change. So I think this is a great category for an investor to start his journey, specifically through an SIP route with a 5 to 7 year time horizon. I believe alpha will come from small and mid cap much more than large cap. So large cap will give you a little bit stability to the portfolio. So even though you would have around 40-45% still being in large cap and 25 being in mid and small cap. So this is a category which investors should actually look at getting into as an investment. One of the fund which we like is specifically because of the consistency of the fund manager being there is Nippon Multicap. So that looks good. HDFC has been a recent player, so Nippon has got a reasonably good track record, and fund has been performing well. So that is one recommendation which I would actually give out. outperforming the category in terms of their investment as well as the benchmark. So this is a good fund one can look at.
Okay. The Nippon multi-cap effectively is the one that is Jose talking about, managed by Sailesh Rajban, and I think that number is nice. I mean, if you just look at what Nippon multi-cap has done in the 10-year performance, the CAGR performance is 14.9. Since inception, it's about 18.6%. So bear that in mind as you look at this one as well. In fact, for the Nippon multi-cap, now the AUM as well has sizably inched up to about 39,000. Amit, what would your advice be?
See, it's no doubt, if you look at the numbers and performance parameters, Nippon India Multi-Cap Fund has beaten the charts. But I also believe there are some good funds in this category. For example, ICICI Pru Multi-Asset Fund or Kotak Multi-Cap Fund. So in terms of the role that a multi-cap fund plays in one's portfolio, as Zubair was saying, it's a very good mutual fund in this category to have in your portfolio, because it makes your portfolio very simple. If you do not want to wreck your brain with respect to how much multi-cap, how much mid-cap, how much small cap, just choose a simple multi-cap fund, choose a simple large cap fund, and have your portfolio based on the risk tolerance that you have. In terms of performance, we know Nippon India Multi-Cap Fund has fantastic data to back it up. We also need to look at the rolling returns. The returns that we are looking at are skewed by the rally that we have witnessed in last 4-5 years. If I were to shift my rolling return period, instead of 10-year horizon, which is ending today, I want to just pull my scale back into a 10-year horizon, which was ending in 2020 or 2021. And then I want to look at my 10-year performance of the multi-cap fund. So how much of a market movement has skewed your data is something that I would analyze in depth, because for me, falling markets and the returns generated in the falling markets by a fund house or by a mutual fund scheme also plays a significant role, because ultimately the investments are being done for a purpose. And when I need the money and I am not able to generate performance despite a holding period of 5+ years, then I have an issue with my investment decision. So I would go a little bit theoretical here in terms of analyzing how my rolling returns have been when my bear market or stagnant market period was on for a couple of years, and it is not skewed by the rally that we have witnessed in last 2-3 years. I hope I'm making sense, Neeraj, in terms of what I'm trying to articulate.
Appreciate this. Appreciate this really. So thank you so much. And gentlemen, that's actually something that I'm completely fine on the show, that please take the liberties and give the response the way you want, because in the end, it is the viewer who matters. So your advice going to the viewer in the fashion that you want to is very, very important. But we are now very short of time, so I'm going to switch to the queries that have been given to us by our viewers. And the first one comes in from Prasanna. Prasanna is aged 30 years of age. The goal is 1.3 crore rupees in 15 years. Prasanna is investing 15,000. Juzair, I'm coming to you on this. Prasanna is investing 15,000 rupees per month through an SIP, 6,000 in the Nifty 50 index, 5,000 in flexi caps, and 4,000 in small caps. Is it a viable goal, Juzair?
So, we have the 15-15-15 rule. So 15,000 for 15 years, if it is, investing at 15% actually gives you 1 crore. Okay. Now, if you want to up it up, since his age is 30, and as I've been, always mentioning on your show, I think he needs to be more aggressive on the small cap. That's where you will get your alpha, and that's where if you are going to be doing 15,000, and if you want to up your return from 15%, which itself is a tall ask. Okay. So the target will have to be around 1 crore, and ideally it should be in small cap. And like I said, it is I like multi caps better than a flexi cap. And and by doing multi cap and small cap, I think he should be able to achieve much more nearer to his goal. Nifty 50 index, a certain part will be taken care of in the multi cap itself. So I believe that he should only just go for multi-cap and small cap fund.
Okay, only go for multi-cap and small cap funds, and keep in mind, I think in some fashion, Prasanna, the advice might also be given because you are age 30 and this is your age to take risks. 15-year goal, which means at 45, still a fairly young age from an investing parlance. You've got a long time ahead of you, and therefore a lot of people will tell you that it's okay to take a little bit of risk in order to reach the targets that you have, because I mean, you will need to probably do some bit of this in order to reach. Now, Shiny with age 48, and you know, I'm gonna come to you on this one, Amit. So, Shiny, age 48 years of age, is asking if it's a good idea to invest in the Tata Innovation Fund. Now, Amit, I know it's a difficult one because you do not know the risk appetite, so on and so forth, or his other portfolio. I'm presuming Shiny here is a male. But I'm still requesting you, Amit, whatever you can tell us about this question.
So I will answer from my financial planning and investment management perspective. It's very simple. You have to understand